Hey guys, so again, I'm in my car, as always in my car. This is the only time I can get 5 minutes of quiet time to give you guys these videos. So I think I'm gonna start doing this a little more often. This is a big step for me. I'm not one to like to talk in front of people, but I kind of have a lot of thoughts and I wanna share them with y'all. So, there'll be more to come on that, but one I really wanted to talk about lately, and I wanted to drop this video for a while because it is something that's really close to me. It was kind of inspired by a post I saw from Steven Furtick. He's my man. He posts the best things. Follow him daily. So he posted this quote that said, comparing can be one of our biggest relationship killers. And it really stuck with me. I was actually half asleep, to be honest, and I was on my Facebook because I was up in the middle of the night with my daughter, and I saw it, and I kind of went back to bed, and then I kind of just started thinking about it, and I had to text myself, like, this is a really great thought. I need to share this. And I thought about really what is the difference between comparing versus competing. And it's such a huge topic for me because I think that a lot of times there's so much going on right now with comparing, and social media is such a big factor in that. Everybody is comparing themselves to one another. You see everything these days about self-love, how we should really just be loving ourselves and we shouldn't be comparing ourselves, to one another. And then I started thinking, we're not even comparing anymore. Like, people are competing, and it's bad. People are competing about who got promoted, who's having a baby, who's getting married, and we care so much about what everyone is doing. And I just thought, when is it healthy? When are we switching from comparing to what we're thinking about what other people are doing, and when do we switch over to competing? And when does it become unhealthy? And for me, it was a big topic because being a mother of 2 children, 2 girls for one, I started thinking, am I comparing myself to others? Am I competing with others? And I'm not even realizing it. And then I thought, is my daughter watching me? Because she watches everything I do. And is she noticing that mom's doing this, or mom's saying something, or getting ready a certain way? Is she comparing herself to others? And do I? Of course I do. Who doesn't? Let's be real. Am I comparing the fact that, well, how much baby weight has she lost? Because she had a baby 10 months ago and I had a baby 10 months ago, but she looks way better than I do. So is my daughter watching what I'm eating? Of course she is. So then I started thinking, why? Why am I comparing myself to other people, and why am I competing with them? Who are they? And what do they say about me? And what is that saying about me, right? So I went to the Bible. Where else would I go? I needed to know, when is this healthy? What am I doing and why? And the verse that I found, that I had to write it down, so I'm going to read it because I just can't, I can't memorize it because it says so much stuff, so you'll see. So basically, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12 says, we do not dare to classify or compare ourselves with some who commend themselves. When they measure themselves by themselves and compare themselves with themselves, they are not wise. So what I thought about this was, when I'm comparing myself, and I'm being the one in charge of me, so I'm comparing myself with myself, right? And I'm comparing myself by themselves, and it straight says you are not wise for doing that. And I think what I took from this was really that there's so many things now about self-love, and that you should not compare yourself with others. And I think the difference between comparing and competing, the fact that I think that maybe comparing may be okay in a healthy sort. I think that when I want to compare myself, what I should be comparing is the fact of how much knowledge do they have more than me, and what can they teach me? Not why are they better than me? And I think that was my biggest factor. And I think it went from, do I need to be competing with these other people versus comparing myself in a healthy manner? When I'm comparing myself by myself, am I teaching myself anything? Am I teaching my daughter anything? No, I'm not. I'm not teaching them anything. I'm teaching them that that mom's crazy, for one. But what I'm not teaching anybody is, I'm definitely not teaching myself or my daughters how to self-love and how to be happy with yourself and how to really just spread the word of knowledge. I'm not being open and being transparent, and that's what I think I really want. Is I want to be able to be wise. I want to be able to the only thing I want to compete for is my love for God. And I think the only way I'm going to get that is by comparing the fact that I could know more about God, and comparing the fact that someone may teach me something that I don't know, instead of saying, well, she looks better than me because she had a baby 10 months ago and I had a baby 10 months ago. Why does that matter? And it shouldn't matter, because God loves all of us. And I just think that when I sat down and I really thought about, was I comparing myself or was I competing with myself? I was competing. I was competing to help myself look better, to make myself feel better, when all I really had to do was open my Bible and tell myself that I didn't have to compare or compete with anybody, and the only thing that I should be competing for was my love for God, and teaching myself that God loves me no matter what, so it shouldn't matter what I look like or what I'm eating or what I'm doing, and I should just love myself and everyone around me, despite the fact that I may have these thoughts, but I shouldn't be competing with anybody. And I think that took a lot. That took me a week to post this video. It took a lot of thinking from me. It took a lot of reading. It took a lot of knowing what I wanted to say. And I wanted to share it with you guys. I wanted to talk about, I think that there's a lot of topic, if you really think about it, between comparing and competing, if you really break it down. Like, are you comparing yourself or are you straight competing now? And what are you competing for? Because I just think there's such a fine line between comparing yourself and then when you start competing, when you start taking it to heart and you start trying to be better and doing something, and for what reason. And I personally had to stop myself and say, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Like, it gave me so much anxiety to try and be like the super mom for no reason. And the only thing that helped me feel better was opening my Bible and reading the fact that I should not be comparing myself by myself. Why am I comparing myself by myself? To who? For what? And so let me know what you think about comparing versus competing. Are we really comparing ourselves? I mean, are people shutting down their social media because they're comparing, or are these people competing? And now we've taken it to heart. And what is your goal? What are you trying to win? What are you trying to accomplish? Because I think there's a fine line between when you compare yourself and competing. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope maybe some of it helped minister to somebody out there. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend and a great Sunday.